I know we don't like to admit it, but the type of person you've been with matters. Subscribe and let's talk about it.
There's different calibers of women, and we have to stop pretending that there's not. Like, let's stop pretending that. Like, women get mad at me. Like, I had some OnlyFans girl was blowing me like one time, like going off because she messed with one of my exes one time. And because I said something about like women being prostitutes, she was going in, like trying to run shit. And I'm like, girl, it is what it is. Yeah. You're a hoe. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Like, you mad at me because I'm calling it how I see it. Like, I'm a different caliber of woman than you. Yeah. If you decide that I'm better than you, that's your opinion. I didn't say that. I'm different though. I'm a different type of woman, and I'm not in the same lane as you. We're not in the same league. We're not in the same category. If you decipher that as me saying I'm better than you, that's what you said, not me. Right. I'm just letting you know I am a different type of caliber than you. I don't choose to let anybody with $9.99 to be able to see inside of my booty hole. Okay? I don't let anybody with $3 a month get to see me shake my ass. Matter of fact, $3. You do that shit for free on Instagram. Okay? I'm not that type of woman. Stop being mad at me because that's what you decide to do. That's the life you decide to live. I feel good about who I am as a woman. I go to sleep at night knowing that you can't see my body for a few dollars. I feel good about that. But you should feel good about what you're doing too. If you don't feel good about it, you should reevaluate your lifestyle, baby.
Now that came dangerously close to blasphemy with with girls. But listen, there is a different caliber. There's different calibers of people, of women, right? Like you're saying, we're not gonna try to take that away. But if we're trying to have a more nuanced conversation, there's different calibers of men as well. And if you kind of truck among those, then it kind of says something about you. Just the same way, if you look at men that routinely say, I'm just going to pay for it. I'm just going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it. You look at them and say, well, that says something about you. If you guys share this guy in common, now again, we're not calling you the same, but you guys have the same sort of taste in men, the same sort of availability to those men. There's a link there. Getting upset and getting, upset that this is what she does versus what you do. Now that's curious. Now that's very curious for men. But listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. So trying to do 2 a day. So hype the video, share the video. We got some merch in the store. Now, there's a line in there that we want to take a minute sort of play with. When women are viewing what women do and you say S work is real work, when you look at that and say it's their choice, it's their body, their choice, and it's empowerment, we understand as men when we're viewing this that thing that you're talking about is a very paradoxical thing. You big up and you support it, but when people attach that moniker to you, now you're upset. You don't want to be compared to that person, what they're doing. Now she's a whore. But before, when you see other women doing it, especially when you see other probably famous women or women that have a more of a following, you don't call them out. You would never say that about them. When you see some of the people that you know in the industry with an OnlyFans, you don't call that out. Then it's empowering. Then it's just a woman's pride. They get to do that. But when we say, hey, there's a connection between you two, now you're fine using it as a slur. Think about the same way when we talk about Lizzo and the body positivity. When she was that big, before Ozempic, before that became a thing. Whenever people say, look at her, she's so beautiful, she's so wonderful, she's so strong. And then we say, oh, you look just like her. Now you're upset. This is why we have trouble believing what you're saying, right? This is why we have trouble listening to what you're saying and saying, because it's very situational. It's very much when it suits you, this type of phrasing works. Think about it. We'll give you another example. Women love gay men. They just don't, but they'll still use it as a slur against men. What are we supposed to think? Bringing it back to specifically to this video, to her, this is why we say who you date matters. That's a causal relationship. That lets us look and say, you've allowed this type of man into your life, this caliber of man. He allows tangentially this type of woman. This is the type of woman that's his type. If OnlyFans models are his type, or women that sell themselves online are their type, we look and say we're not saying that's what you're doing. Not saying that's what you're doing at all. But he has a type, and he lumped you into that thing together. It works the same. It works the other way around, right? When we like to know about the baby daddy, we like to know who came before, because we're trying to see what is your type. Your type is critically important to us, because if I don't fit your type, then eventually, no matter what happens, we think at some point in time, you can be swayed away by your actual type. This is why who you date before matters. The type of people, the type of environment that those people kind of truck in matters to us. You blowing up because, calling this woman a prostitute, calling all this stuff out. And we understand why you guys would be beefing over that, because of this causal relationship that you guys have. We understand how you guys talk. You guys kind of use subtext a lot rather than calling someone out directly. Regardless, there's a relationship, there's a link between you guys. Now, it's easier if you say, yeah, when we were dated, he was here in life. Now he's down here at the bottom. You let that, you see, well, he does that now because he's less of a man. He hit a slump. Whatever. The point is, the better take is just say, yeah, I have these takes about this. Now my ex is dating someone like that. That doesn't change how I feel about it. That doesn't change anything how I feel about it. You let that rock. It's not that important to get sort of worked up over. It just makes it look like, yeah, you do feel a way that you guys have shared the same man. It doesn't. Again, we understand there's different calibers of women. We just get curious when someone of a purported high status that you're indicating is with people that aren't, right? When we see, and we've had videos where women are saying, yeah, I dated a homeless man. And we're like, wait, why? Especially when you're saying, I've got these degrees, I'm accomplished, I'm famous, I've done all this. Why have you dated someone that now dates someone that is of this perceived lesser status when it's convenient to call him lesser status? There's a link. That's all it is. There's a link. It makes us raise our eyebrows and pays attention. Even you have that same sort of attitude because you are very, very emotional about it. You got very much to say about it. Either you guys sanction, a boxing match and make some money off of it, or the best bet is just to, drop it. Yeah, I used to date this guy. Now he's dating someone that does this. It has no bearing on you. That's the take. That's the adult take. It has no bearing on me. He called me out for this, but what she does now, I don't care. My take on women that sell themselves, let that be the same take all the time. This is how I feel about it. You shouldn't be doing it because if you're unhappy with it, whatever. Let that take stand. When you cry, you protest like this, most of us just raise our eyebrows and say, not too much. Listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you got something to add, same thing. If you see videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. Just shut on Bill Sutton Dope. See you in the next one.